Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Lady Hallett has moved the whole of the UK inquiry, the COVID inquiry, north of the border to Scotland, where she will be making pertinent inquiries into the people, the processes, the decisions, the reason behind the decisions, the whole gamut of things that happened during the COVID pandemic. This, of course, will be problematic to a lot of the people who were making those decisions. The last thing they want is the truth to come out, because obviously the truth in some cases may end up in the likes of Jeanne Freeman or Nicola Sturgeon spending the rest of their lives in prison for corporate homicide. We can but hope. That, of course, is an ongoing investigation by the police. Thank you very much, Leslie Roberts, for all the work you've done. You are an absolute hero. But the inquiry will be getting underway today. Lady Hallett will be laying down her sort of her rules, her expectations, and I know that she will she'll be starting the inquiry with an impact video. People talking about the impact they had. It's about a 20-minute video, and a lot of people will find it quite disturbing when they see what it is. I'm not going to show it; it'll be a separate thing. We'll cover it in a different video. But we are going to have a look at the ramifications of what may or may not happen during the next sort of 3 or so weeks. Here goes. Now, of course, we know some of the things that will happen. There'll be massive cases of amnesia. There will be all sorts of IT problems that cause records to be lost. People will deny reality. People will lie. We know the sort of people who will lie. Indeed, I suspect there's a woman there who's going to lie through her teeth, probably. She dare not let the truth come out. They were told to keep records, and they did not. And when asked whether she's got the records, whether she kept them, whether she deleted them, she's been very shady and snide and has refused to answer. That refusal, of course, can mean only one thing. She deleted them, and she doesn't want to say, because deleting them will be contempt of court, because, of course, she was told not to. Nicola Sturgeon must finally explain what happened to her COVID WhatsApps as the UK inquiry comes to Scotland. Top lawyer Amar Anwar, who represents the Scottish COVID Breed Group, asks, were no steps taken to secure these messages? Did her deletion of messages continue after Spring 21, after she was told that they must not be deleted? Nicola Sturgeon must explain why her government adopted a different approach to tackling COVID compared to Westminster, a leading lawyer has said. Amar Anwar's demand comes as the public inquiry into the pandemic begins a 3-week stint in Scotland from Tuesday. Among the witnesses scheduled to testify at the hearings, known as the Module 2A, will be the former First Minister. There's also going to be Jeanne Freeman will be there, Leach will be there, all of the pertinent players. Everyone involved needs to be there, and everyone involved needs to be told that they're under oath, and that should they lie, and it's proved to be a lie, that they will face severe prosecution. Now, before we get into this, I will say that there have been cases where WhatsApp messages have been deleted. That's then been needed in a criminal inquiry, and the authorities have gone to WhatsApp and requested those deleted messages. And those deleted messages have been kept. Do not believe the bullshit that once you delete it, it's gone. This is the internet. Nothing is gone forever. The people who run this need all these messages. It's called big data. There are cases of people finding out they're pregnant before they've been to a doctor, simply because the supermarkets have seen the change in the products they buy, and then they've looked at the data and said people who go from buying this to start buying that often start buying nappies 6 months later, and so they send them vouchers for nappies. Big data, big information. They delete nothing. And so, knowing that, Nicola Sturgeon has to be very careful what she says, because she knows that what she denies now may be proved otherwise if the police do get hold of those messages from WhatsApp subsequently. And then if she's given false information under oath, that means jail. And that's before you even look at the decisions she's made on those WhatsApp messages. That could mean big jail. Here's hoping. Miss Sturgeon was the very public face of Scotland's fight against COVID-19, holding virtually daily press briefings, giving her the horn, wasn't it? explaining her stance on tackling the virus. Her stance, of course, was anything that England do, we'll do differently because we need to make a difference, even if the things we're doing is damaging and harms people, or is pointless, like the masks. But Mr. Anwar stressed it was vital to find out if Ms. Sturgeon's decision-making was done for political reasons and not just for public well-being. Well, we know full well it was political reasons. Follow the science, get out of here. Follow the political manoeuvrings. One crucial answer to the question, he said, was why vital communications between senior Hollywood figures made during the pandemic may have been not made available to the inquiry. There are fears that thousands of these messages may have been subject to willful deletion to prevent them being assessed by the inquiry panel, because they know that if those messages ever come out, they're going to be going to jail for murder. And why do you think, as a little tangent, why do you think so many of them during that put expenses in for video games, or the very, very same video games? It's because messages sent and conversations had over video games aren't recorded, are kept secret. They are lost. You get on your headphones and you have your conversations, you make your decisions on the through a video game, and that way it's off record. They think we're fools, but we are not fools. We know that they are all criminals. We know they all made decisions that led to the deaths of people. The difference is, were the decisions made through ignorance, or was it deliberate murder? We will probably never find out, but this, in our minds, will settle it, I think. The court of public opinion will most definitely settle it. Tony Blair has never been to The Hague, but everyone thinks he's a war criminal. We all think she is a murderer, although it's yet to be proved. Anyway, Mr. Anwar represents the Scottish Scottish COVID bereaved, my apologies, a group made up of relatives who want answers from those in power at the time of the crisis as to why their loved ones had died. It was a conscious decision, one feels. He stated, in the coming days we will hear testimony from those senior government ministers in Scotland and the UK, and the former First Minister, the present First Minister, as well as senior civil servants. In Module 2A, some of the best evidence, the most unguarded, contemporaneous evidence, came from informal methods of communications, such as WhatsApps and texts. That needs to be changed. Anything that is decided, used, or outside of official government channels needs to be immediate 20-year jail sentence. No questions, no trial. If you do official business outside of official channels, bang, they arrest you there and then. There's no trial. It's 20 years. That's it. End of story. You know the rules. You get them to sign it. You get them to sign it twice, and you get them to recite the rules back to you, and you record them reciting it. They've got no excuse. The moment they put anything on YouTube, the moment they put anything on WhatsApp, the moment they do anything through a game, bang, 20 years, done. That'll sort them out. The sorry history of that difficulty of this inquiry has been in obtaining the documents from the Scottish Government, and it is a cause of considerable concern to the SCB. Mr. Anwar added, media reports have suggested that senior figures in the pandemic decision-making, such as Nicola Sturgeon and Jason Leach, have failed to retain messages. The SCB hopes that whatever evidence may be gleaned from surviving WhatsApps, nothing of significance has been lost as a result of this apparently willful deletion of messages to hide the evidence of some of the worst possible crimes done by a regime. The Third Reich would be proud of them. Hide the evidence. Yes, sure, we'll put the old people in there. We won't test them. Let's get all the COVID people into there and let's kill and basically genocide of the old because it suits our political aims. But shh, don't tell anyone. Let's do the decision making via a video game rather than writing it down or putting it in an email, because otherwise we're going to jail for mass murder. Allegedly. He went on, as the inquiry will no doubt hear, in March and April 2021, promises were made not only to the SCB but to the people of Scotland in the manifesto on which the members of the Scottish Government stood that there would be a public inquiry into the handling of the pandemic. It ought to have been obvious to politicians, advisors and civil servants, at least from then, if not earlier, that the evidence of contemporaneous discussions in relation to the pandemic response would be of vital importance to the subsequent inquiry. Now, it's going to go on, and they're all talking about details and this, that and the other, and I'm not going to go into it because otherwise I'll be here all day. But this is the key. She's going to be asked questions and she has to give the right answers. Because if she gives the answer and it's subsequently found that she's lied, it's contempt and it's jail. And she knows it. And she's already being investigated now for corporate homicide. If she's caught lying in an inquiry and then there's a court case, what are they going to do with that corporate homicide? How's that going to look? That woman is going to have an arse twitching. The old sphincter will be twitching like that. And I'm definitely going to enjoy watching her take the stand and panic. But it'll be all I canny remember. A big boy did it. It wasn't me. It was Westminster. Coming up. It will be nice to see her squirm. It'll be nice to see her struggle to answer the questions of a higher authority. This is the UK. This isn't, Scotland. This isn't the Scottish inquiry. She has no power over these people. She is powerless and she's alone. She'll be on the stand and she'll have no one to help her. She won't be able to make a call, have someone like Bain get on there and say, stop asking the questions or anything like that. It's going to be a moment in the sun and she's going to shrivel up and die. And I do hope the truth comes out. And I do hope that the truth is as bad as we all think it is. And I absolutely pray that she gets arrested, prosecuted, found guilty and jailed for the rest of her natural life. I'll stop now. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit subscribe, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment. Please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will talk to you later. Bye.